Well, hello there. This is Charles, the Chess Noob, learning and having fun with chess. Welcome to another episode of Quick Wins. Now, I've been pretty busy, in the last week or so. Last week had a pretty monster review of the new Chessnut Move, and check out that video. And I've actually got another review planned this week. The 1849 reproduction Staunton set, a luxury set of chess pieces from Royal Chess Mall, a reproduction of the original set of pieces designed by Nathaniel Cooke, produced by Jacques of London. A really, really lovely set of pieces. Check out that video when it comes out. However, today I thought I'd do a quick wins, specifically looking at the bishop sacrifice. I love sacking bishops on F7, particularly against the Scandinavian Defense. Now let's have a look at the first game, which is actually a line covered in my book, Become a Chess Assassin. Let's go have a look. So, Scandinavian Defense begins, of course, with E4. Scandi, it is the immediately combative D5. We take, queen takes, and knight comes out with an attack on the queen. Queen to A5, the main line. Now, keep an eye out on that F7 pawn. Always a little bit tender because it's only defended by the king. Now, a bishop sack on that square is a tactic that comes out in lots of different opening lines. However, it's often not available because black can defend that pawn. It's just not so good. However, in the Scandinavian, it's more likely that it becomes possible because black ends up making a number of queen moves and potentially they're not correctly defending their f-pawn. Let's see what happens in this game. Now, against the main line, I usually play the Leonhardt Gambit, the immediate b4, attacking the queen. Queen should take, correct move, and the main line of the Leonhardt Gambit is now rook to b1. Attack this way, you can see, still 0-0-0. This is actually quite a good line for white. Giving up a pawn, but you can see it's still basically equal. However, in this line, there is a very, very tricky, somewhat unsound attack, but we make use of this gain in tempo. Firstly, knight to b5. It's a bit dodgy, you can see, but the idea is this immediate attack of the c7 pawn, most common move, and it's basically all right, it's basically correct. Queen back to a5. So we sack the pawn to get this point of tempo. Keep an eye out on that f7 pawn. Now here, the defending with the queen makes sense, but now bishop to c4, looking at the f7 pawn. Now, there's a multi-step trap here, and black needs to have the foresight to recognize the queen is on the 5th rank. The queen, my queen, can potentially come here, so they need to defend the h5 square with their king's knight. However, very often black will try to kick my knight with one of these two pawns. That's what they did in this game with c6. It's a blunder. We sack the bishop. Correct move for black is to actually sidestep their king. However, commonly they will take, that's a blunder, queen out to h5. Notice the queens are now both on the 5th rank. It's check, and here every move for black is not good. They play actually the most accurate move, which is g6, blocking check, but notice knight leaps with check. The 5th rank is now open. Queen looks at queen, and here black opts to resign. Good game, GG. Now let's have a look at another Scandinavian defense game where once again I had that bishop sacrifice. Another game of 5+5 blitz. We start with the Scandinavian, e4, Scandi, a d5, captures, but they play the modern. And against the modern, I usually give back that pawn, a d4. They take. Keep an eye out on that very tender f7 pawn. They've got the knight. They try to pin my knight with the queen. This is one of the most common moves by black in this position. That's fine. My bishop to standard square, bishop c5. looking at that pawn, and potentially there's an unpinning tactic there. They play a slow move. You can see the best move for black was to play e6, which takes away that diagonal. This is a little bit slow. Maybe they were thinking of attacking my bishop. However, I developed the other knight. Tricky move, inviting black to take. They do so. Once again, when you look at the Lee Chess Community Database, one of the most common moves by black. But now, bang, bishop sacrifice. Now, as we move into the intermediate level, black or the opponent will often see this very unpleasant looking unpinning tactic, and so they might not want to take the bishop. And as we saw in the last game, it was the correct move for black was to not take the sacrificial bishop, but here it's a blunder for them to not do so. It's complicated. We now have check. They move the king, but bang, we've got once again another check. What are they going to do? Block check, but we take with the knight. They take with the queen, but bang, bishop to e6, and it's a skewer. We're winning the queen, captures once again with check. The knight is still hanging. King forced to move due to the check, and we take the knight. It's absolutely wonderful.
Emotional damage.
Emotional damage. Good game. GG.